This is Chapter 14, Sentencing, Punishment, and Review. The goal behind sentencing is for convicted offenders to pay their debt to society. It is important for the sentence to be proportioned to the severity of a crime. A writ of certiorari is an order by the appellate court who has the discretion to hear appeals. There are several forms of punishment. There's capital punishment, incarceration, fines, restitution, forfeiture, and probation. Everyone knows capital punishment to be the death penalty. Fines are usually imposed in misdemeanor cases. However, they can be added to prison terms in more serious cases. Restitution is payment to the victim for a value wrongfully taken. Forfeiture is property acquired as a result of a crime committed. The conditions of probation is up to the trial judges to impose upon the convicted. Most state codes rank crimes by class for sentencing. A presumptive sentence is the midway point of the sentencing range. Federal law provides for mandatory life imprisonment for a serious violent felony that follows 2 prior convictions. In the mid-1990s, 23 states passed laws for long, usually mandatory sentences for second and third offenses. Sentencing guidelines were created to eliminate indeterminate sentencing and to provide uniformity and proportionality in sentencing. Sentencing procedure. In capital sentencing, the jury determines the guilt. A presentence report is a written presentation of factors for the judge to regulate sentencing. During a sentencing hearing, the defendant has a right to speak on his or her own behalf. Defendant has a right to counsel, but not a right to confront a witness. In 1980, the victim was involved in the sentencing of their offenders. People feared of an overuse of the victim impact statement because it might cause disparity. Serving the sentence. If probation is violated, the probationer is sent back to prison to complete the sentence. The probation officer seeks to exercise revocation. A preliminary hearing determines probable cause for revocation. Prisoners may be released early on parole. Here are a few rights and responsibilities of prisoners. Appeals. The defendant may appeal the case to correct an error made at the trial court level. An appeal can be filed only after a final decision on conviction and sentencing had been made at the trial court level. Plain error can be challenged on appeal. Harmless error does not affect the outcome of the case. This is an outline of the appellate procedure. The writ of habeas corpus. A petitioner must be in custody, and a question of federal law must be involved. Here is the procedure for habeas corpus. Here is our Chapter 14 conclusion.